Good morning. I'm Brian Reagan. This is
Tyler Kelly.
And we welcome you to Mornings with Brian and Tyler. Today we're in Proverbs 22, verses 26 and 27. Tyler.
Do not be one of those who shakes hands in a pledge, those who is surety for debts. If you have nothing with which to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you?
All right, Tyler, what does that mean?
Don't go into debt or take out loans.
Okay, that's part of it. The other part of this would be what we would say was, don't be a co-signer. Don't be a co-signer. Why? Well, if you co-sign,
You're partially responsible.
you're fully responsible. Yes. And that's his point. If you don't have the money to pay the note, when the other guy skips on it, they'll come take what you got. And that was definitely more true back then in America, because we never had debtor's prison in America. Because America said, no, you can't put people in prison for debt. You know, you can afflict their life with credit scores, but you can't put them in prison. Which was a good thing, because debtor's prison in England, people still went into debt. And when they were in debtor's prison and not able to work, then their family suffered even more, and their family incurred more debt, and then there was more time in prison because the debts kept getting bigger. Yet, no, that never worked. But I think about a businessman. He had been approached by a gentleman. Gentleman wanted him to co-sign a loan on business. And he said, I signed the first note. He said, the business plan was solid, the timing was right. He said, I knew it wouldn't be an issue. He said, so I signed it. He said, guy paid the loan back. A few years went by. The business ran into a little bit of trouble. Businessman said, man, I hope he doesn't call me, because I'm not going to sign for him this time. This is bad business. He said he never called. Then he said about a year later, the bank reaches out to him and says, you're responsible for this debt. And he says, no. He says, I didn't sign the second note. And they said, no, but on the original contract, you gave your continuing. And he said, I learned what the word continuing meant. The guy didn't need him to sign the second note, because the way the first note was written, until the other guy revoked his name from it, he was guaranteeing, or he was a continuing co-signer on that guy's line of credit at that bank. And the guy paid it. The guy paid it because, he said, but I learned. He said, I learned what the word continuing means. And he said it cost him a lot of money. And that's the point. If you can't pay the entire amount cash in full for someone else when you co-sign, don't co-sign. But just in general, don't co-sign. Try and help the other person get to a place of no debt, so that they aren't living off of loans either. This is a lesson for all of America. Our whole economy is structured on debt. That's why we've got so much, quote, prosperity, is because everybody's maxed out debt and then kicked it forward. It's a dangerous plan. Dangerous plan. Some other thoughts?
No, sir.
All right, with that, I'm Brian Reagan. This is
Tyler Kelly.
And Lord willing, we'll see you back 7 o'clock tonight for our series on the Psalms, our Wednesday evening series on the Psalms, and also back at 12:30. Till then.